here's what the output of my merge block looks like. You can see that when I merge cookies with Haas, it takes the first letter of cookies followed by the first letter of Haas, and then the second letter of cookies followed by the second letter of Haas, and so forth. And when I run out of letters in the word Haas, because it only has 4 letters, I get the last few letters of cookies with a dash after each one. So when you run out of letters in a shorter word, you're just going to use dashes in place. So if I try another one, I'm now merging 1, 2, 3 with A, B, C, D, E, F. Again, I'm going to run out of the 1, 2, 3. So I have 1A, 2B, 3C, and then I've run out of my numbers. So I have a dash after each of the letters until I run out of the letters in the longer word. So I think that's pretty obvious how that works. Now, this is a little bit tricky to write. This is kind of a long block that I wrote. The first thing I did was I had to figure out which word length was longer. And I made my for loop, this is a little hint for you. I made my for loop go from 1 to the length of the longer word. And then as I added letters to my new word, I had to figure out if I was at the end of the new word, and if I had run out of letters, if I'd run out of letters in one of the words, then I had to fill in dashes. Otherwise, I could use that letter. I know that's a little confusing, but it's a little bit of a tricky thing to write, but I think you can do it. And I don't want to write your code for you, and I don't want to give you exactly how I did it, because there's probably more than one good way of doing it. But give it some thought. You're obviously going to need a for loop. You're going to need a new variable that is the new word that you're making, which is the combination of the letters in the other words. And you also have to test to make sure to see what happens if you run out of letters in a word. Then you're going to have to start adding dashes. But I think you can do it. So go for it. Get to work.